Good evening, namaste. I, I welcome you all to today's webinar. It's VICHAR webinar. It's an initiative of Federation of Indian Associations of Victoria. And we welcome our speaker today, Shruti ji. Welcome Shruti ji for presenting us on the very important topic of journaling. We are coming into this new year. So first of all, I wish you all happy Makar Sankranti to all of you. And in this new year, we must have all made some resolutions. We need to stick to it, and to make it better, journaling would definitely help. I've tried journaling many times in the past, but I got confused and did not continue it to go long. Hence, I'm very curious to hear from Shruti ji today to guide us, navigate us to continue doing the journaling. Before I hand it over to Shruti ji, I'll give her a brief introduction. Shruti Rao is a master life coach and soft skills trainer who integrates principles of management and positive psychology to help individuals understand, analyze, and continuously improve themselves in their journey towards becoming the best version of themselves. Through structured life coaching and targeted training programs, she facilitates positive transformation by fostering self awareness, contentment, a growth mindset, and a commitment to continuous development. Her training offerings include resume building, interview readiness, communication skills, goal setting, stress management, decision making, problem solving, and learning skills, while her life coaching practice focuses on sorting thoughts and confusion, addressing challenges and fears, enabling positive shifts in thinking and behavior, cultivating sustainable habits for long-term personal and professional growth. For further information and details, Shruti Rao may be uh, contacted directly. She will share her contact details in the very end. With that thought, I welcome you again, Shruti ji,
Thank
for
you.
taking up this very important topic today. I'll request you to give a brief overview background of this topic, and then we can make it as a highly interactive session. I'll request all the audience to turn on their video if you can, to make this interactive session more meaningful once your video is on. But with that thought, over to you, Shruti. Thank you.
Thank you, Suriji, for giving me this opportunity to talk. And there isn't something great about me to discuss because I'm just a normal person who focuses more on development. And I believe we all have a lot of areas of growth and perspectives that we can put into. And there is a lot of learning to happen. And it is a continuous process, it's never going to end. So, on this journey, I would like to add everybody into it. And there is something more I need to learn from each one of you. So, I encourage all of you to participate more with me so that it'll be easier for us to interact and learn from each other. Today's topic is journaling for self development. So, there are two areas. First one is journaling, second one is self development. So, before I explain everything in detail, I want to give you just the topic as to what these two are and what you understand about it so that we can add on it and build on it. Then it is easier for you to learn and explore, ask me any number of questions that you have, and probably it'll be more useful on the later perspectives too. So, the first part of journaling is nothing but expressing whatever you feel, your thoughts, your attitudes, your opinions, your ideas, everything that you're going through on paper. So, what we happen to think is penning everything in your head, the paper is journaling. That is the first thing that we have an idea about journaling. Second thing is self development. How journaling is going to help you in the self development is what we'll be discussing today. But self development is a continuous process. We can be the best version of ourselves. And I'm sure we all see that perspective with each one of us, wherein we think, we have greater potential and we have not brought that out. So that is the reason every year, whenever we have an opportunity, we start setting resolutions, we start setting goals, we start setting areas wherein we have potential to be converted to productivity. So these are the areas that can be explored to become the best version of ourselves. And this is self development. And this is a journey. It's not something that is going to happen overnight, or it's not a destination to reach. But before we book an Ola, we need to know where we stand. Only then we know where the destination is to be headed towards. So, journaling is going to help you in that process of understanding yourself, creating a self awareness, knowing where you stand, which is the point that you need to start from to get to where you would be, that better version of yourself. So, here is the process of exploring ourselves. That is self development. Now, let me understand what you know about self development and journaling so that we can blend these two and find something that is suitable for everybody. Because not one style is the perfect format for anyone and everyone. It changes for everybody. Let us find out what is it that suits everyone, or the one that can be personalized for you. So may I know who would take an initiative to express what you think is journaling, or has anybody tried journaling before?
Yep. So initially, when I was child or teenager, I tried few times. So I started writing a story of the day, started writing
Mhm.
events of the day without truly understanding how to express the thoughts itself into that journaling. And it became boring that I'm just writing events of the day. It's like news story of the day, and I could not make sense at that time, and always felt uh, it became boring after a few days and stopped writing those because I did not have that vision of self development at that time. Today, I believe self development is find discovering your weaknesses and making a better person, a better version of yourself on day to day basis or the month or weeks or something. So that's my thought, but I truly need some motivation on why we should write journaling and what events or facts or expression we need to note it down so that it helps us drive towards self development.
Okay, that's
Anybody
good.
else from the audience want to add? Yes, Srileka ji.
Um, Thank you for giving us the opportunity to understand ourselves whether journalism is important or not. Um, in one of the episodes of VICHAR, somebody had said that if you were to manifest, journalizing is very important. And whatever you manifest, if you write it down a few times and read it to yourself, that soon becomes a reality. I think it is very true to that nature, because when you're self expressing your needs, your wants, and where you want to be in your life, um, everything starts with putting your feelings down into reminding yourself that you are grateful to God, you are grateful for the family you have a dream, you have a vision, and that vision is going to turn into reality, and manifesting that vision and writing that till you achieve till you achieve it. I think that's one way of self journaling. Obviously, there are a lot of people who have frustrations and they don't have anybody to open up to, and sometimes diary becomes your best friend. It used to be
Mm.
that for me once upon a time, perhaps when I had a breakup maybe, or I don't even remember when, but I know that I used to write a diary and that helped. Yeah, that's I stopped putting down anything on paper after coming to this country, purely because I think there are so many new changes that you adapt in your lifestyle with your new partner in a new country, trying to build your identity, and in all of that, writing a journal to yourself becomes very minuscule, like you almost think that it's not important, and then you slowly forget when you have different changes in your lifestyle. um, yeah, it's only now that I'm starting to think maybe I should write what I want to focus on, but I don't know how I don't know whether I believe in it 100% even now or not.
Yeah, that's a very good thing to discuss about.
Just
Seriously, a lot to talk about. Yeah.
add one thing as what Srileka ji said, and
Mm,
that was my one of the concern as well. Neeraj, apologies, I jumped in between. Is that when you write those very personal thoughts in a diary, you are worried about somebody else reading those. So, are they really
mhm.
personal to you, right? Diary should not be read by anybody else. Is that correct, Shruti ji?
Yes, because you're expressing yourself. So definitely, yeah, that is right. We don't want our personal things to be read by someone else.
Yep.
That are boundaries. We need to maintain it.
Yep.
I
Thank
do
you.
agree.
Yep. Thank you, Neeraj
Yeah.
ji. Over to you. Yeah.
Now I think now I understand because I am myself a journalist for the last uh,
Uh,
how many years? I think 40 to
42,
40.
43 years. 43 years.
And but I think is your topic more for personal issue or profession?
it could be used for both the areas, both personal as well as professional
Because
growth.
I write all the time, and when I started off,
Mm,
it was the computer age was not there.
mm,
So now things have become easy, and,
mm,
and we can even just speak and it can convert into text
correct.
writing. But I like writing. I'm an old style journalist, and even now I'll show you. I'm writing even now the main points. I have a habit of doing that. I don't.
Great.
See, I think I see. I keep writing all the time.
Wow.
So I have like many years diaries ready, and I'm also writing a book and talking about personal things to write down, to jot them down is I think it's a good idea. After let us say if you write for 20 years,
Mm,
then you can know what all happened, in 20 years. And but as Suri Soni said, certain personal issues can be harmful if somebody else reads them. And but as I'm writing a book which is more chapter wise, not as connected story, but as
mm,
you say, the journal this thing is more
mm,
episodes of life. So my university age, my before that, my parents. I only wonder whether why should somebody be interested in reading it anyway,
mm,
unless there is something interesting in it. And there are many interesting things in which I was involved as a journalist in India as well as in Australia. So I think it's a good idea to write. And self-development, I'm not very sure. What do you mean by it? Maybe you can explain it. Why, how it
mm.
helps in self-development, jotting down things. For example, just before this program, I was seeing a documentary on space. So I jotted down. Uh, Sorry, I was seeing uh, a interview-based program on some Indian rocket had gone up and it fell down.
Okay.
PSLV. So I noted down the whole thing. And then so it also helped me to understand science and technology.
Okay.
So
All
that
right. There are different kinds of journals. You can write journaling to help you understand the history, help you understand the language part, helps you
yes,
understand the science, technology. At the same time, you can have a digi journaling, wherein you can just read out whatever you need to express and it can be recorded elsewhere. You can put a password so that nobody opens it and it stays private. That also can be helpful.
I'm writing by hand also.
Yeah, that is helpful, provided you need to keep it safe so that you maintain the privacy.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. What about others? Have anybody tried it? And is it like you felt it helpful?
Yeah. Welcome, Rituji, Sangeeta ji, Shilpi ji. If you want to express your thoughts. around this space. Have you tried journaling before? Anybody? Umaji? Yep.
Okay.
I think they will speak up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I haven't, but I mean, I'm curious to understand it. I have heard once or twice before, but never actually got into the habit of doing it. So this is to inspire me.
So when it comes to self-development, I have three questions I need to ask you. I understand it's like when it comes to journaling, none of you have actually tried it and practiced it, so you don't understand the benefits of it. But when it comes to self-development and the areas that you probably think would be your best version of yourself, where do you think you stand? If I'm asking you, rate yourself in up to 10, how much marks will you give yourself from 1 to 10?
I think it's very subjective and
Yeah.
nobody's perfect, I would say.
Yeah.
So,
Perfection is a myth.
correct. So you always look at relative day to day, month to month, year to year, and that's where the new year comes in. We put new resolution for the year that
Correct.
we're going to achieve this.
Correct.
So it's all subjective and relative thing, I would say, is the self-development, I would say.
Correct. So, what would be your resolutions? Anybody with resolutions to get or reduce your weight or finish 20 books in a day or in a year, or maybe, complete one course, get a new certification, or anybody who's planning to take up a new career, anyone trying to do a diploma course? What are your areas where do you think you stand, and what are the prospects that probably could add on to your skills, your productivity, and all that?
Yep. Anybody want to share your new year resolution on this forum? Yep. I encourage you all to speak, those who are not speaking yet.
Hi everyone. Hello Shruti ji. I just wanted to say that every year, like as the topic is, every year we make resolutions. But for this year, I think my resolution is to definitely work more on my consistency because everything I think we just make commitments, but we just get up adding to more responsibilities and other priorities. But I think this year is all about just being to that commitment and maintain the consistency and work to getting there with the consistency, even if it is 1% or 5% each day, but just maintaining the consistency. I think that's my would say the goal of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, that also is a challenge. Showing up every day and being there is also a challenge. Right, agreed. Anyone else with 10 or 5 or at least 3 or development or ideas for changes this year?
Like we may have 10 trend resolution to achieve, for example, and out of 10, 8 or 6 maybe on higher bandwidth and few are my weaknesses and I want to improve upon and all.
Mhm.
So yeah, we may have multiple good and bad combination of habits and development goals basically.
Correct. The scope is always there, and the scope is actually plenty. It's not just one area. When you see the wheel of wellness, the wheel of wellness is about 9 to 10 areas. We have to be financially independent, emotionally independent, physically fit, mentally fit, have a good social relationships, and probably a good community relationships, then work relationships, growth perspectives, and career aspects. Probably someone is aiming for a growth in the career or new promotion, or maybe someone planning for a second baby. It's personal, it's different to each person, but at the same time, it's very challenging to everybody. And sometimes to me, it could not be a big or a long term growth. It could be a small term growth wherein I plan on stop to react and respond. So sometimes it's anger issues. I tend to react in a very bad way, wherein I just express, no, I don't want it. And we tend to change the tone when we are expressing ourselves. Being a little more self-aware makes us, even the tone matters. And probably I could refuse even in a softer way. It is possible for me to say, no, I can probably do this in a little better way. So probably later, or maybe I could be even more softer, wherein I could say, next time maybe I'll try it some other time. We have different ways of expressing ourselves, but we choose to opt to react instantly. So the moment we think, we need to change our small habits, even that is self-development. So we could have a long-term goals, at the same time we could have short-term goals. So there are plenty of goals that we could probably have in the process of self-development, and we think we need to achieve it, but we don't keep a track of it. As one of them pointed it out, the consistency that matters. We are not consistent. We tend to be lenient to ourselves. We are not serious about it. The moment we are not serious, we are not going to make it. The moment we say we'll do it tomorrow, it just means it's procrastination and we are not going to do it anymore. The moment we decide later on, it just means push it away. I'm not interested in addressing it. And this goes on. And there won't be any scope for development. So self-development is a continuous journey. We are never going to be there. There is no proper destination. There is no proper way of living. Not everybody can be teachers. Not everybody can be nurses. We all have our own strengths and weakness, which definitely has, greater scope, which can be improved, developed, and we can be the best version of ourselves. So there is always scope wherein you can enjoy or explore your potential and increase your productivity. That is how you can be a better version of yourself. In this process of being a better version, the only thing that is stopping us is ourselves. There is no one else who stops you from taking up a new course. No one else who stops you from going to the gym. No one else who stops you drawing or doing something new. Or nobody is going to tell you not to do something or force yourself to read a book. Nobody is going to do that. You need something, you need to get it. If I need to do something, I have to do it and it has to be my own efforts. Nobody is going to help me out with it. So it depends on the efforts that we are willing to contribute to get that thing done. In order to stay consistent, journaling helps a lot because journaling creates self-awareness. When it comes to self-awareness and writing a journal, what I have usually noticed is people tend to chronologically write what they have done throughout the day. It could be like I got up at 6 o'clock and then I had tea around 6:30. I went for a walk and came back at 7 o'clock. I started doing my household chores or probably went for a song or Sangeeta class or something. And then came back at 8 o'clock, had my breakfast and moved on. This is usually the day, the chores, how we live. And we make it a practice that we stick to the routine. And the moment we are sticking to a routine, there is no scope for any other development process to happen. We are going to be the same person forever. We need to change that pattern to be something we are not. Because we keep repeating the same thing, we are going to get the same results. We need to change the results. We need to change the way we react. We need to change the way we do things. So here we need to change our behavior, which can be done by letting myself know that I am stuck here. Until and unless we realize we are stuck, we're not going to make that change. So in order to understand that you're stuck or you have a mind fog, or probably you're stuck in a particular routine or a particular way of addressing things, and life has become monotonous, and we haven't noticed it for a very long time, there are no scope or there are no changes, then slowly what's going to happen, we're going to start getting bored of the same thing. And we're not going to make any kind of progress in life. We will be stuck with the same pattern. And that becomes a pattern that is our comfort zone. Until and unless we break it, we're not going to make any new changes. So how do you understand your thought process is also stuck like this? In order to break the thought process, the best way to understand breaking patterns would be journaling. That is why I suggest all of you to try journaling. Journaling is a very simple topic wherein you're expected to write your thoughts. What happens thoughts hold a very great power. Like one of them pointed it out. You can manifest with the help of thoughts. So, what is manifestation? It is nothing but the law of attracting. We can attract good things, we can attract positive things from happening to us by just imagining it could happen to us. Because, as Sadhguru said, we are staying under a wishful tree. Whatever you wish for is going to come true. So, the moment you start wishing for good things are going to manifest, it's going to happen to you. Similarly, if we are wishing for negative things, the negative things are also going to happen and they're also going to come true. Now, why would you start journaling is a very important task that I want all of you to focus on, because this is a real takeaway from the session. Mind is a paradox. When I say mind is a paradox, let me tell you, it will agree to anything and everything you tell it. If at all I tell myself, Shruti, you are somebody who's very argumentative, a very difficult person to handle, it's going to believe it. It's not going to deny it. At the same time, if I tell Shruti, you have a very nice voice, and probably your voice is going to be very pleasing, and people would like to talk to you. It's a very simple, thought. They're just two different thoughts, but one is negative, one is positive. And my mind will believe both these without questioning it. It did not question whether Shruti has a good voice or not. It did not question whether Shruti is capable or she's just developing negative thoughts. Nothing, no questions. It is blindly going to believe everything that you're telling it. That is the reason you need to jot it down. You need to keep a track of your thoughts. Only then you will know what is actually happening. Now, I have two activities for you. How many of you keep thinking about your past?
Yeah, occasionally. Occasionally.
Occasionally, okay. If you can't address this, let me tell you. Can anybody tell me who you are?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Who are you? When I say who's Suri, then what would you say? What would be your answer?
Yeah, you got different answers to who you're talking to.
Yeah. Generally,
Yeah,
if I just ask you who's Suri, then what would be your answer?
Suri is IT professional. Yeah.
Yeah. You chose to be recognized by your profession. So
Yep.
your previous accomplishments, your past defines you. Right? So your past will be what you want to attach with yourself. So be it your accomplishments with your profession, education, qualification, certifications, whatever it is, or probably the money we have, or prestigious issues that we have probably received the awards. That is what we want to show off and tell this is me. We never tell, Suri is a person who enjoys scenery and he loves beaches. That's why I can see one behind him. So he's somebody who likes nature. When it comes to presenting ourselves, we never personalize anything. We always tend to ignore the person that we are. Journaling is nothing but exploring that person within you. Because from the point of your birth till the date that you're going to die, the only person you're going to live with is yourself. Yeah, sadly, yes, that is true. We are going to live with ourselves for the rest of our life. So the mono talk that we're going to have within ourselves is me. The talk that's going to happen in my mind, maybe telling, Shruti, just finish this work now. Then next, probably you're supposed to go finish up the household chores. Next, you're supposed to go for a walk, probably meet another friend, make another call. Is what is going on in my head, then that is the monologue, the talk that is going on in my brain. That is nothing but self-talk. So the moment I'm telling you to write a journal, it is not you trying to write down everything that has happened throughout the day. It's not going to help you in any way. That is the routine. I want you to notice the thoughts, the talk that you're having from within, the self-talk. Write down the self-talk. The moment you start expressing your self-talk on a paper, you'll notice you're always, drawn to one particular version of yourself. Could be the ones wherein our parenting was done, the childhood, the brought up, the way we were told to believe, our, like unconscious and conscious versions of analyzing myself would be what is the thing that is holding me back or letting me go out confidently. So people who don't feel confident in going out is because probably during their childhood days they were told, you're safer to stay indoors, so stay within. This is why majority of Indian women find it safe to stay indoors and rarely they step out. You can see plenty of them are going out for solo trips now after they have turned 40 or 50. It's only now they're able to gather courage to step out of their house. So there are, various ways where we need to explore ourselves. Until and unless we challenge ourselves, there is no scope for growth. And the growth means becoming the best version of ourselves. And how can we be better unless and until we try and do something new? Until and unless we're stuck, we are just going to be stuck there. Try journaling. If I give you all 2 minutes and ask you to journal what is going on in your head, can anybody write it for me?
I hope you'll not ask what did we write. We can write it, but yeah, as you said, we can't share.
You can't share it. Yeah. But this is what I do as an activity for people who come to me as help required for life coaching. I make them write their journal and ask them to share, because this is where I want to know how they try writing. Half of the time, whatever they write will be something that is copied. It will not be their version of it. This is where we make majority of mistakes. We tend to copy what we are. Being ourselves is also a strength we need to develop, which majority don't. Being myself, being authentic, being correct, or being validated by self is individuality, which most of them don't even try. This is why you need to start journaling to understand where you stand, what you are, what sort of a person you are from within will help you analyze what you can be and what are the areas of scope that can improvise you to become a best version of yourself. This is why journaling is important. Now, there are plenty of different types of journals.
Sorry, can I
Tell
just
me, are you a.
sorry, can I just
Yes,
add
sir.
one thing? Sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you write, the thought comes to your mind that whatever is going throughout your day, and when you want to write what is going throughout the day, and even though you want that nobody should read it, but you may potentially end up writing something to justify your behavior of the day, for example. Instead of writing original critique of yourself, why did you behave that way, you start justifying yourself why you behaved that way, for example, because you may want to visualize a potential reader of what you're writing and trying to address that person in mind, and that may be a potential pitfall of doing a journaling. And what should be in our target audience, as you said, it's a self-talk which you need to write, and so your target audience is yourself, and how to address yourself in when you're writing, because in self-talk you can do it instantly, but when you're writing, you start justifying your odd behavior or wrong behavior, for example.
Correct. Correct. See, that is also the version of ourselves. We always try to be good in our own narratives, no matter where we are trying to write it. See, journaling is for ourselves. We're going to write the journal for myself. So my journal will be read only by me. It's not going to be published. Nobody's going to read it. And I'm making sure that even my spouse who's going to stay with me is also not going to read it. At the same time, I want to make sure it's all goodies about me. Nothing bad is written. So this is a negative version of writing. The whole purpose of writing a journal is to get a third perspective, to get a perspective wherein you can address the issue that has actually happened. That is the main point. purpose why I'm trying to write it down is because the problem looks easier and clearer when it is put on a paper. When I can read it again, probably I can easily understand, this was my mistake. I started reacting badly, and this was how I responded. Probably, in case I would have responded it a little differently, these issues would never have happened. So, in order to get that retrospective aspect, to have an intrapersonal growth, we need to know what is actually happening internally. But if we are intentionally manipulating it and writing in a different way, yes, your journaling is not going to be beneficial at all. I would suggest be very authentic and be very clear regarding whatever you're expressing so that you'll know where you stand. And probably after 5 years or maybe the next week, when you come back and look at it, you will know this had happened. And that is because of the, like, probably, I probably had a fight with a vegetable vendor because he did not give me free coriander leaves. So, yeah, it's my bad thing, right? I'm expecting him to give it freely to me. I'm not supposed to. Come on. It's a very minute thing, but still, Indian ladies, I am like that. Can't help it. I love fighting. And I don't know, I get a lot of pleasure when I get that free coriander leaves. So it's a very minor thing, but yes, it's nothing great. I can easily pay him 5 rupees or 10 rupees extra. It's not something big. Probably I would have paid it to him for another vegetable. So that is fine too. Yet we expect it. This version of expecting something from someone and making sure I am deprived of something is a negative character, which has to be changed and which has to be monitored. I need to make sure I don't do this. It doesn't become a habit. I don't start fighting with the vendors every day. Yes, it's not a good thing. Come on. He's doing his business and I'm his customer. I'm not supposed to do it. So the moment I realize this is a wrong thing, I'll definitely think about changing it. But until and unless I realize it, it's going to give me the pleasure of looting him. I'm going to continue doing this mistake, or I'm continuing to behave in that particular pattern. That would be me, and I would justify it that it's the right thing because I've already paid extra for some other vegetable, so I deserve this. There are areas wherein we feel we deserve it, but we are deprived of it. And hence we start worrying about it. This creates depression in us. So depending on our past creates depression. And until and unless we realize it, that we are thinking about the past, we are looking for validation from others, we are searching for that authentication from someone else, we are not going to have a very strong individuality. Building this individuality is a very essential thing. And that is why I ask all of you to start journaling. It would have been more fun if I had all of you people willing to write. Then probably I could do around 5 to 10 activities, making you all to write it. But I
I'm
guess
conscious
you were
of
not.
time as well. I'm conscious of time as well. And but
Yeah,
yeah, if you can, you are continuing on types of journaling and all as well.
yeah. There are different kinds of journaling. For people who find it easy, the morning kind of people, morning journals would be the best thing. The first thing to do is get up in the morning and start writing a journal. Second thing would be stream of conscious writing. Um, for people who think, I need to be very conscious and I need to improve my working. I need to become a better version of myself. I need to stop my anger issues. I need to improve my writing skills. And for people who are not kind to themselves, for example, it could be like if I don't do a work on time and I miss something that is supposed to be done, then I would be very rude to myself. I would be like, Shruti, idiot, you should have completed it long back. You didn't do it. Shruti, you're expected to complete this on time. You could do it. You were capable. Why didn't you do it? What a dumb boy you were. We tend to be very critical to ourselves and we are rude to ourselves. The moment we start being cautious about those negative thoughts, negative version of how we treat ourselves, that is going to reflect in building self-love. if we can create good self-love and self-respect, that actually reflects on your self-confidence and self-esteem. So in order to monitor this, you need to have a very beautiful version of relationship with yourself. Before we have a bond or relationship with someone else, it's better you start focusing on ourselves. Another version of writing journals is being gratitude. Gratitude journaling is where you write at least 3 things that you're grateful for each day. You would be grateful that you got up today and you have food on your table and you have every facility that is necessary for livelihood, and we are already blessed. So if you can notice that, then you're already blessed. Third thing would be you can write it as a letter to yourself. These are the styles of writing a journal. You can write it as a letter to yourself, wherein it could be like, what would you tell yourself, your past self, or your future self, or your present self? What would be the best version of yourself? You can write it as a letter. Otherwise, you can say it as a daily reflections, wherein at the end of the day, you can open a journal and say, this is what I've accomplished during this day, and probably I could have done more. I'm more productive and capable than this, but this is the only thing that I've accomplished for the day. So you can write it as your daily reflections as to, I was being very sweet, I was very good to people, and probably I can do this, and this is the area of my growth. You can also write creative journals wherein you can start doodling, you can make collages, you can have a free writing style wherein there are no barriers. Unless you make one for yourself, nobody's going to come and create a barrier to you. So you can write anything and everything that is going on in your head. You can even write a short story, write a poem, write something in a very beautiful version for yourself. You can draw, sketch, or add photographs, cuttings from newspapers, magazines, and everything else. These are creative doodlings or a creative version of writing a journal. And there is a very beautiful thing for journaling, that is being mindful. The thing is, either we are in the past or we are in the future. Being in the past creates depression because we feel we are depraved of something, as we feel incapable of making any changes. But at the same time, whenever we think about the future, it's like probably I should have achieved this accomplishment as a financial stability for the next year, and I'm short by this much. So probably this is going to be a problem with me in the next year, or maybe next year I may not have this much of cash on hand, or maybe this is what is going to happen to me. These kind of future talk or future worries will only create anxiety. And there are people who always tend to think, I need to be the intelligent person in the group. If I am not seen as an intelligent person, I'm not going to get enough response or respect from people. So these kind of conditioning also draws you back from being more productive. Until and unless you notice what is actually happening with you, there is no way someone else can come and help you. Because please look back on the number of self-help books you probably must have read and how much of it are helpful to you. Has any self-help book actually changed your character? It will not. Until and unless you make the change, it's not going to happen to you. And the only version of analyzing and addressing it is by making an effort to write down what you're feeling, express it out, address it, and change it. You can easily monitor what is happening within you. So you can either use inspirational quotes or reflective activities. That could also make a change in the motivational version of you. And you can use quotes, vision boards, inspiration, images, motivational mantras and affirmations, gratitude journals and dreams or desires that you want to manifest as a part of your journal, and make it a point that you write it every day and make sure you address it and make that changes in your character or in your activities that you're going along with. But overall, if we are trying to address how you are going to write a journal, the way you write your journal is nothing but how your personality is shaped. If you're writing a very particular version of
No, I'm just sharing
Yeah.
the notes. This is the book I read. Yeah, but yeah.
Okay. So if you're writing a very meticulous, planned version of bullet version of journals, that means you are very much progress oriented and competitive in nature. And that's when you're focusing on reducing your work to the minimal extent as possible and trying to make the most of your time. Or if you're trying to write journals in the pattern of a paragraph, or if you're writing a version of like just minimal writing, one heading with four points, and then again one whole point of paragraph that is to be addressed, then this is the person who's trying to accomplish a little, but he's quite lazy to elaborate it. So he's just making a point that he's writing a little and then skipping the rest of it. So your journaling actually shows your personality type. At the same time, it also shows the areas and scopes that can be improved in future. So what does all this actually comprehend to? What does this journaling actually help you out with? It helps you create a proper dialogue that is going on within you. So you have a very good self-love, self-understanding, self-awareness, self-confidence. At the same time, it builds up resilience. No matter how many times you fall, you know how to get back. So this is something that is very important. The individuality part is taken care of. This is why you should try journaling. I know journaling is time consuming and you may find it very tedious. So the thing I would like to tell you is embrace inconsistency. It's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. If you're a morning person and if you haven't written what happened to you yesterday, make it a point to try to write it somewhere in the afternoon or write it whenever you're free. But just start it as a habit. The moment you start writing, that is when you start finding it, it's like you can do it maybe next time or maybe another time. So until and unless you try doing something for 20 minutes, it's not going to become a habit. And until and unless you try it for 25 days, it's not going to stick with you. The inconsistency is something that is going to happen for you on a large number of times. It's common. So make it a point that you embrace inconsistency, agree to it that you are going to be inconsistent and you're not going to do the journaling. But the next day or whenever you remember it, take up a book and express it. The moment you express whatever is happening from within you, it's going to help you out. You're going to feel at ease because you've expressed it, and it's going to reduce stress because venting out and expressing what you're going through is also kind of relaxation that is required for yourself. You'll not realize it unless you've tried it. So I suggest all of you to try it for 20 days and then you can get back to me and tell me your experience. Probably I can help you, find out the blocks, or probably I can help you write it better. So what are the benefits of writing it? Is it helps you clear the mind blocks. It helps you make a very good choice in your career. It helps you becoming a better version, manage handling people in a different way, then create good perspective, become mindfulness, and it helps you improve your memory. At the same time, it helps you become a better version of yourself. So you're being more persistently patient and caring to yourself. That is going to reflect on your other relationships and others around you too. That is going to create a kind of happy vibes around you. So I suggest you all try it out, and then that will be helpful. So finally, it's like tips of being effective journaling. It would be like be honest, be authentic, be yourself. Don't copy someone else's style. Don't steal versions or verses of others. Write whatever you feel that you are, and don't worry about being perfect. It's not going to happen. Nobody's perfect. So it's fine. Try making any number of mistakes that you can and own them, because you are going to be defined by the learnings that you get from your mistakes and not your mistakes. So ignore perfection, do any number of mistakes that you probably can. Use prompts or inspirations. Prompts like what would be the best version of me, and what is the best accomplishments that I've done for the day. Or you can say, like a rocking day because I finished this. Or give yourself awards, inspire yourself, challenge yourself, and make sure you break that monotonous thing that you're doing every day. Make your life spicy all by yourself. You can do it. Always we tend to give flowers to others. Always we tend to be grateful to others. Always we are doing something else for others, never for ourselves. I think this is where you need to start focusing internally, intra-perspective skills. This is where you can reflect, review, allow that changes and improvements to happen, and try to make it a ritual so that you at least try to stay a little consistent to it. Like how you get up every day morning and say, Acha, this was good for everyday night, good night for others. And just make it a ritual. Just spend 5 to 10 minutes, that's enough. Not a whole day. Just 5 to 10 minutes for yourself and tell yourself, you can achieve this, you're capable of it, and you are going to do this. This is what is going to help you improve. So it's always been me and me talking. Can you all tell me what you thought about it?
Yep, this is the time, yeah, audience, if you can ask any questions. We are close to our closure time as well, but we can spend 5-10 minutes. So if you have any questions, please do ask now. Anyone from the audience want to ask any question or comments or experiences they want to share?
Yeah, I'll share my experience, and it's not the recent one, but long ago, like when I was in college, I used to write diary, daily diary. Um, it went well for a couple of days, but in Indian families, there is nothing secret. There is no privacy, and it happened like my brother got access to the diaries, and then he started teasing me, and I abruptly stopped writing it. So something that we have to deal with our you can say mm, the backgrounds and the social fabric, cultural fabrics. So yeah, that's maybe it's a time for me to start writing it again.
I would be very thankful to you if you would start it.
Yeah, we'll definitely do.
Yeah. There is always a starting trouble. At the same time, when somebody makes fun of you, then it's really, we take it to heart. We find it very humiliating. So reattempting it is also a good
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah, those were the like teenage, and definitely brothers took it as a good uh, teasing thing. So yeah,
So your past is stopping you from trying it again. So forget about past, start writing it again.
will definitely. I'm encouraging my daughter to do that and ensuring that the younger one doesn't look into elder one's diary. So
Great.
yeah,
Great.
There is a
thank
question
you.
from Shilpiji in the chat. Shilpiji, if you comfortable, you can ask directly. Otherwise, I can read it for you. That she wants to write something, but when she sit down to write something, she becomes out of thoughts and little conscious. How to work on to become better on this?
You don't have to be conscious about what you're writing because it's your self-talk that's going on within and you're just expressing it out. So the moment you are writing something, just make it a point that you're not trying to be perfectionist. The moment you start being, self-aware as to if I don't write to the expectation of somebody, nobody is expecting anything, right? It's for ourselves. No one is reading it. So break that barrier of growing up to match someone else's expectations. You don't have to match anybody's expectations. Authenticate and validate yourself. So whatever you write is you expressing yourself. Validate it, authenticate it, and just start writing. Just start scribbling. Probably just doodle it out. and then you will find out your own thoughts, and then it's easier to talk.
Yep. I shared that book, Building Second Brain. I read that book partially, and it talks about the para method, how to organize your thoughts. And halfway through that book, I build up that thought process around that. Once you start noting down your behavior, thoughts, or everyday thinking style, you can start seeing those patterns, and you can discover how you are behaving in different areas as well. One behavior in one situation is impacting your other behavior in another situation as well. Hence, writing this journaling will help you discover those patterns and challenges in broader perspective as well.
Correct.
And hence, it is very important to write.
What
Sangeeta,
happens if you had fallen in a particular area? It's like if you fell when you're walking on the road, you become very cautious that each time you're taking your next step, you make it a point that you don't triple again and you don't, hit that rock again. We tend to be very cautious. So in order to avoid our mistakes, we tend to avoid doing the activity itself, or we tend to make sure we are cautiously keeping our next step. And in that process of being very much cautious, we don't actually achieve what we tend to do. Probably our speed of walking will reduce, or our ability to run, or the version of probably noticing things around us, seeing the flowers around, or being happy for the good weather around. All these things will be lost. So the moment we start noticing that we are not mindful about a good thing, and we are stuck with, we are defining ourselves and we are attached to our past mistakes, even that is a negative thing, because our mistakes don't define us. We just need to learn to be careful while keeping our next step. We can walk better next time. But the moment we are outside, we need to enjoy the surrounding, the weather, the environment, the sunlight, and probably, seeing all the flowers and people smiling at each other, greeting others, and going around. That is what is more important than the stone that you had once fallen. So we do tend to attach our past mistakes or past experiences to what we are doing at present. And we don't do what we probably can do much better. So what I would like to suggest is focus on the present moment and be very mindful about being in the present and enjoy what you can do apart from, having all those barriers in the brain.
yep,
And this can be achieved if you start journaling. You'll easily build up a individuality,
yep. Thank
because
you.
this creates a lot of self-awareness.
Yep. Sangeeta ji, my sister, she's joined and she want to say something as well. Sangeeta ji, over to you.
हेलो सूर्या,
Hello.
हेलो श्रुति जी, नमस्ते।
Hi, ma'am.
जी, मैं अभी आपके कहे हुए सारे पैटर्न्स को यूज करके मैंने मेरी लाइफ को 360 डिग्री चेंज किया है। तो उसमें स्टक एनर्जी में बहुत बड़ा रोल रहा है कि मैंने उसको रिमूव किया। जो भी स्टक एनर्जी थी उससे निकलने के लिए मैंने फॉरगिवनेस प्रेयर जो थी होपोनोपोनो उसका यूज किया और मैनिफेस्टेशन पॉजिटिव कर लिया 100%। और जो मैं लिख नहीं पा रही थी, सिर्फ विचारों में था, वो मैंने लिखना स्टार्ट किया। और मैं अभी साहित्यिक मंच से जुड़ी हुई हूँ और मेरी एक बुक भी पब्लिश होने वाली है। चेंज हो गई लाइफ। यूनिवर्स थ्योरी से चलने से मेरी लाइफ में बहुत बड़ा चेंज है। पॉजिटिव मैनिफेस्टेशन।
ग्रेट मैम,
थैंक यू सो मच। बहुत अच्छे से डिफाइन किया आपने इसको। ऐसा लग रहा था जैसे मेरी मन की सारी बातें आप मुझे बता रहे हैं कि मैंने ऐसा ऐसा किया और वो मेरी पूरी जर्नी मेरे सामने चल रही थी। थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक्स मैम।
वेरी नाइस।
Any other question from the audience? We're closing, nearly wrapping it up. Any final questions from anybody? Any comments for Shruti ji? Yep. So I think, yep. With that note, Shruti ji, any other final thoughts you want to add before we wrap up?
No, until and unless you try journaling and experience it, probably there wouldn't be anything much I can add to. But there are plenty of ways to explore yourself and journaling being one of the easiest version. I would suggest all of you to try it out, and this will definitely help you understand yourself. Like how I told you, if you're booking an Ola, you know where you are, only then you can find your destination. Take up a route to go there. So
And
this is the version that's going to help you out.
and if somebody want to reach out to you, connect with you directly, how they can contact you?
Yeah, I can share my number with you all, and you can just give me a call. I'm only a call away.
Yep. So you have shared me a small PowerPoint presentation. You want me to share that in WhatsApp group?
Yes, because that is a takeaway. I
Yep.
don't want to
If you
show you
can,
all PPTs and
correct.
tell
And
you.
if you can
Yeah.
just modify that PPT again and add one final slide of contact details of yours, and I'll then share the PPT with the audience in the group.
Yes, sure.
So Shilpi ji, are you part of the WhatsApp group? So that when I share, you can get access to that thing. Yes, perfect. So I'll share it and yeah.
If at all you feel that you have some blockages in your mind and your thoughts are jumbled, or you're being too philosophical and you're not accomplished whatever you've been thinking, or your productivity is being hampered, or if you feel you're stuck somewhere, even then just give me a call, and I'm only a call away, and I can help you out with all these things.
Just for the
Journaling is the
audience,
best thing.
just a note for the audience, add +9. Shruti ji is from Mysore, India. So just add Indian code before you call on that number.
Yeah. WhatsApp, that would be better.
WhatsApp, yeah, WhatsApp would be fine.
That would be better.
Yeah. So, yeah, with that note, I think I sincerely want to thank you, Shruti ji, because as many people said in this group, that we tried in our childhood from pressure from our parents, like Ankit is trying to pressurize his girls as well to write journal, but we don't get the direction at the time when we're child how to write and what to write, and you have given a very thoughtful structured way, or maybe I've noted down 10 different styles of journaling you've shared today, and we can each pick up one of our favorite style and start journaling, and there should be no excuse. It doesn't take much, and hence we are very thankful to you, Shruti ji, and as you shared your number, we'll reach out to you as well with our experience on how we go, and sincere thank you to you for sharing your thoughts on this journaling and enlightening us with this new knowledge. And those who are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe and share so that we can spread this knowledge and wisdom with the wider community and learn from each other. Those who are also watching, if you want to suggest next speakers, please do reach out, share my details so that we can bring more interesting speakers on this forum. With that note, Shruti ji, thank you once again, and we'd like
Thank
to
you,
hear.
Shruti, for this opportunity, and sorry for all the inconvenience.
That's
I
all right.
couldn't actually reach out to you earlier.
That's all right, and we'll look forward to hear more in different perspectives, different talks as well. You have got tons of knowledge, and you run hundreds of different teaching program yourself. So we'd like to hear on different perspective as well.
Sure.
And I was holding back for a long time that you look like my sister. She has turned on her video, so so I was just having that sentiment that you just look like my sister.
पहले मेरा वीडियो स्टार्ट नहीं हो पा रहा था. ओके, थैंक
अच्छा
यू
है
सो
मैम,
मच.
बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे भी आप लोगों से कनेक्ट करके. और मैं उतना पोएटिक नहीं हूँ जितना आप है, लेकिन सीखने को तो मिलेगा मुझे भी आपसे.
आपकी बहुत सुंदर तरीके से आपने इसको डिस्क्राइब किया. मैं हैप्पी हूँ. मेरा 5D कॉन्शियसनेस वाला जर्नी है, जिसमें लोअर वाइब्रेशन टच भी नहीं कर सकती हमको. एक फिक्स पॉइंट में हम आके हायर डायमेंशन में शिफ्ट हो गए. वैसा वाला मेरा स्पिरिचुअल जर्नी है.
Yep.
7 चक्रा से मैंने पूरा बैलेंस किया अपने आप को. तो एक एक चक्रा का ब्लॉकेजेस जो था वो मैंने हील किया, परमानेंट वाला. तो अब मुझे कोई शिकायत नहीं है.